Good morning, and welcome to another weekly chap word. I am your chaplain, uh, Napoleon Bradford, and I'm just so excited to be with you this week. Listen, if you have not done so, please please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also, if you are married and have not done so, please sign up for our Strong Bonds event in July. You don't want to miss it. July 29th through 31st. And I'll have the link up for you a little later. All right. So, if you're encouraging somebody else to watch this and they are watching, if you're first watching this because it was shared with you and you want to connect to our daily text blast, please take out your phone and text the word chap word, all one word, to 84576. Again, that's chap word, all one word, to 84576. We are in the month of May. This is National Mental Health Awareness Month. And so we have been looking at scriptures that tie into mental health. And mental health is one of the things that affects many of our soldiers, many of us, right? So our focus this month is mental health. And our scripture from the day comes from Acts chapter 16, verses 27 and 28. Acts chapter 16, verses 27 and 28. And here's how it reads. And the keeper of the prison, awakening from sleep, and seeing the prison doors open, supposing the prisoners had fled, drew his sword and was about to kill himself. But Paul called out with a loud voice, saying, "Do yourself no harm, for we are all here." Drew his sword, the prison guard, and was about to kill himself. Paul said, "Listen, do yourself no harm, for we are all here." For the next couple of minutes, I want to preach or teach from this thought: suicide is not a solution. Suicide is not a solution. Surprisingly, suicide is very prevalent. Um, it is so amazing to think that many of us grapple with situations that we feel the best response to them would be the removing of us from the situation. Um, in fact, the US suicide rate has increased 30% since 2000, between 2000 and 2020, right? Um, and many of us find ourselves in the midst of our problems considering ending our life. Sad to think, but it's realer than you imagine. For whatever reason, the weight of what we're going through in that moment, the immediate response, the immediate solution is just to remove us from the equation. If we were out of the equation, lives would be better. If we were out of the equation, these bills would not be an issue. If we were out of the equation, right, this class and graduating and reaching the standards our parents set for us would not be an issue. But I need you to understand that suicide is never a solution. So suicide, the taking of your life, or the purposeful putting yourself in situations that could take your life, is never a solution. That's where we find ourselves in the text. This jailer has been given the task of keeping these prisoners in jail. Something happens out of his control, and as a result, he wakes up and thinks they're gone, and his immediate response is to draw his sword and end his life. But Paul yells out, one of the prisoners, to do yourself no harm, for we are all here. Listen, I don't know where the sermon is going because it's not even going like I planned it, but you need to understand that that is the sentiment of myself, of the leadership, of your battle buddies. We are here. Listen to me. I know it's rough. I know it's crazy. I know the situation hurt. I know it's out of your control. I know that all of these things are going on in your head, but you need to know that we are here. You don't have to harm yourself. We are here. We can help you. We'll fight for you. We'll fight with you. We will navigate the situation. We will help provide or refer or perform whatever has to be done. Do yourself no harm. Suicide is not a solution. So here's the main idea. In the midst of the struggles, suicide may seem like our only option, but we must look again and see that it's not as bad as it seems, and we are not alone. So why does suicide seem like an option? Right, here's the first reason: because in my pursuit of purpose, I never foresaw any problems. In my pursuit of purpose, I never foresaw any problems. Text says that having received such a charge to imprison Paul and Silas, he, the prison guard, put them in the inner prison, fastened their feet in the stocks. Right? Catch this. So the prison guard did his job. Right? He was following his purpose. He did his job. He locked the prisoners in the deepest, darkest depths of the prison, knowing that they were going to be secure. But at midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God, and the prisoners were listening to them. Suddenly, there was a great earthquake, so that the foundation of the prison was shaken, and immediately all the doors were open and everyone's chains were loose. Watch this. Hold on. I put him in jail. I had no idea that an earthquake was coming. I never foresaw any problem. Really, that's what gets us to the suicidal point. We're doing what we're supposed to do, right? I was just trying to find the love of my life. I had no idea he was going to cheat on me and give me an STD. I was just trying to go to college. I had no idea I was going to flunk out. I was just trying to be a good parent. I had no idea the other parental party was going to leave me with the bag. I was just trying to do the right thing, yet they took advantage of me. I had no idea I was going to be raped. I had no idea I was going to be robbed. I had no idea I was going to be fired. I had no idea I was going to fail at this. Because I foresaw no problem, because I foresaw no problems in my pursuit, when problems came, it led me to suicidal thoughts. Here's the second thing. I realized I'm really not in control. Hold on. Look at what it says. It says, and the keeper of the prison, awaking from sleep, seeing the prison doors were open. Hold on, wait, because when I went to bed, they were locked. Remember, I locked them, right, in the inner prison and fastened their feet in the stocks. I locked them down. But when I got up, the doors were open, and I realized I really don't have control. And that's what really drives us, right? Another thing that drives us to suicidal ideations is realizing we have no control. We do the best we can, but can I tell you that you can't control your children. You can't control your spouse. You can't control your job. You really can't control your money, because at any point in time, something can happen out of your control. You must understand that in moments when you are out of control, God is still in control. So that means you have to release your control to God. Here's the third thing. Disconnection from worship made me worry. Disconnection from worship. Listen, I got to tell you this because it's right there in the text. Verse 27 says this: awaking from sleep. Hold on, watch this. Hold on, you missed it, because verse 25 says, but at midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns. Hold on. If Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns and the prisoners were listening, guess what the jailer was doing? Sleeping. He was missing worship. And because he was missing worship, when he woke up, he had no idea the result of what happened during worship. Because what happened during worship was an earthquake. But he was sleeping, so he missed it. And as a result, when he woke up and the doors were open, he began to worry. You got to be careful about how you disconnect from the stuff that used to ground you. Your belief in God, your prayer life, your reading of scripture, your sermon, your going to church, those things ground you. And when you disconnect from them, they leave room for you to worry. Here's the fourth thing. So in my shock, I thought my only option was suicide. I thought that was my only option. Right? I woke up and I understood that the customs of that day, because of my dereliction of duty, because of my inability to complete my assignment, they were going to kill me. So I figured I'd get ahead of it because I didn't see it going any other way. I didn't see it getting any better. And really, can I tell you, in the heat of the moment, of the failure, of the pain, suicide becomes an option because we don't see it as getting any better. We become so locked in on the failure, on the pain, on the loss, on the hurt, on the mistake, that nothing else matters. And because of us getting locked in on that, we then allow ourselves to falsely convince ourselves that the removal of ourselves will fix it. We don't think about how it would hurt our parents or our loved ones. We don't think about how it would throw our children into a spiral. We don't think about how it will negatively impact the trajectory of our legacy. All we think about in the middle of that problem and pain is ending it because the pain is so unbearable and the problem seems so unfixable. But why is suicide not an option? Here's the first reason: because there are people positioned purposefully in my path to persuade me to live. Whew! There are people purposely placed and positioned in my path to persuade me to live. It's right there in the text. Don't miss it. Verse number 28 says this: but Paul called with a loud voice, saying, do yourself no harm, for we are all here. Okay, hold on. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Who's the we? The prisoners that were listening, and Paul and Silas that were praying and singing hymns. The people that the prison guard were supposed to be imprisoning were still patiently waiting. Okay, listen, you need to understand that some of the people you thought had left you, they're really waiting for you and available for you to release unto you words to persuade you to stay alive. Listen, the people you wrote off, they're really there, right? And sometimes in the midst of what we go through, we feel all alone. The jailer thought he was all alone, so he drew his sword. You need to understand that you are never alone. You are never alone. You are never alone. Why else is suicide not an option? Because what I was worried about wasn't as bad as I thought. Look at what it says. Verse 27 says, look, supposing the prisoners has fled, seeing the doors were open. Hold on. Verse 28, but Paul called out with a loud voice, saying, do yourself no harm. Verse 29 says, then he called for a light and ran in. Whew, catch it. Hold on. When he took time to light a light, in other words, to bring some light into the dark situation, to look at it from another perspective, what the jailer realized is there really was no problem. The only problem was that the doors were open. The people that were contained in the doors were still present. And you need to understand, and you need to know, and you need to realize that when you look again, when you allow light, and light could be God, light could be a biblical perspective, light could be holistic thinking. When you think about it, it's really not as bad as you thought it was. It's really not as serious. It really will work itself out. You're not the first person, not that you shouldn't be comparing yourself to other people who've gone through, but just realize other people have triumphed and you can triumph too. Here's the seventh thing. Listen, I realized God orchestrated the confusion to get my confession. Because here's the thing. The earthquake wasn't man-made. God sent the earthquake. Okay. God sent the earthquake to open the prison doors so that the prison guard could suppose that the prisoners had escaped, so that the prison guard would draw his sword, so that Paul would say, "We're here," so that the prison guard could do this. Hold on. What must I do to be saved? Okay, hold on. And sometimes we got to realize that all the chaos and confusion in our life is really purposefully placed, purposely orchestrated in order for us to confess that God is in control. Remember, we found out earlier that we have no control. We locked the doors. We went to sleep. When we woke up, the doors were open. The prisoners had no key. No, God sent an earthquake. And that earthquake opened up the doors. And you need to understand that there is God. God is still the sender of earthquakes. God is still the sender of confusion and chaos in an effort to get your attention and your confession. Here's the last thing, and I'm done. Listen, why is suicide not an option? Because I found that if I fix my faith will fix my family. My faith will fix my issue. My faith will fix my problem. It's right there in the text. The text says, so they said, believe on the Lord Jesus Christ, and you will be saved, you and your household. Okay, watch this. Hold on. We didn't even know the jailer had a family. In fact, in the moment of frustration, the jailer forgot about his family. But Paul and Silas knew. Paul and Silas knew that he had to have a family. The Lord had revealed it to him. See, again, this wasn't really about Paul and Silas. This wasn't even about the jailer. This was about the family. Oh, man. And sometimes God allows things to go on in your life because of the impact of God fixing it is going to ripple. There'll be ripple effects through your family. Your legacy will be strengthened. That's why your marriage is so necessary. The enemy attacks your marriage. Your marriage is so necessary because your marriage changed the trajectory of your grandkids, of your nieces and them. Right? That's why your entrepreneurship, the enemy is attacking your desire to launch that building, that business, because the enemy knows that if you get it right, it's going to change the financial landscape for your legacy. You got to understand that if you fix your faith will fix everything else. Your family will be fixed. Your marriage will be fixed. Your finances will be fixed. Your body will be fixed. Your life will be fixed. All you got to do is fix your faith. Look what they said. Listen, they said, believe on the Lord, nothing complicated, and you will be saved. Right? No classes, right? Just believe, right? They offered dialogue, which I'm gonna push as I close, because the dialogue they're having is more than just pastor parishioner. It's more counselor counselee. In other words, if you keep on going and read the next couple of verses, there was a counseling session that took place. Because sometimes the only way to overcome your ideation about suicide is to sit on someone's couch, not to talk to Pookie and them, not to light the ooh-wee and then to drink the drink, hoping that it clears up so that in case you get tested, you won't pop positive. No, not to solve your problems with Hennessy, Cavassier, and Patron. No. Sometimes you need to invest in a therapist, somebody to help you unpackage all of that pressed down weight that has led you to the thinking you're thinking, right? Listen, this ain't even about military, right? Because some of us don't want to do it because we think it's going to be a ding, a red flag. It's going to prevent us from promotion and prevent us. But you know what will prevent you from promotion before a red flag? Death. Because if you die, you can't be promoted. I'm serious. I ain't joking. So do the steps you need to do to take care of you so that you can be successful, because suicide is never, should never be an option. Listen, I'm done. And I simply want to encourage you, if you need to talk to me or anybody, if you need resource, reach out to your platoon leaders, reach out to your first sergeant, reach out to your commander, but you can always reach out to your chaplain. I'm here. I'll talk with you. I'll rock with you. We can chit chat. We can text. This is my number. If you want to learn more about the God I talked about, the Jesus who shows up and shifts situations to get your attention and confession, then text me. Listen, I told you I wanted to give you the link for Strong Bonds. Um, I want to give it to you right now. So listen, please, please listen. It is bit.ly, bit.ly backslash 1050th SB. Right? It's right here. HTTPS. You really don't need all that. All you need to type is bit.ly backslash 1050 50th lowercase th SB strong bonds. That's it. And you will register and you will be, we only got about 23 more slots, right? But come and enjoy a weekend with us. Listen, I love you. Y'all have an amazing day. And remember, suicide is never a solution. Love you. Goodbye.